Hi Year 3, you've made it to Friday again, well done. So this is your math lesson, week 6, lesson 5. And to start with, we're going to think about rounding 3-digit numbers to the nearest multiple of 100. So let's think about the number 782. Which multiples of 100 does 782 lie between? It's between 700 and 800, isn't it? So let's zoom in there. Okay, here it is, and you can see that it's way off 700. It's much nearer to 800. So we would round 782 up to 800. An easy way to remember is, if your tens and units are more than 50, you round it up. If your tens and units are less than 50, you round it down. How about 437? How can we round that to the nearest multiple of 100? First of all, think, what multiples of 100 does 437 fall between? Hopefully you realise it's 400 and 500. So let's zoom in there. It's here on the number line. You can see it's much closer to 400 than 500, so we'd round it down to 400. Again, look, 37 is smaller than 50, isn't it? So you'd round it down. How about 296? That's very close to a multiple of 100, isn't it? It's between 200 and 300. So let's zoom in. And you can see it's very, very close to 300. So we'd round it up to 300. How about 854? How would we round this up or down? Here we go. It's in between 800 and 900. And the 54 is just above the 50, so we'd round it up to 900. Now for a game. And guess what? You need the Top Marks website. Today in your search you need to write Rocket Rounding. First of all, try some with the number line. Remember, we're going up to the nearest 100, so you need this one. There's your number line to help you. So your target number is 599. Are you going to round it to 600, 500 or 499? Hopefully you realise it's 600. Blast off. And so on. Have fun, my little astronauts. Now this week we've been adding our 3-digit numbers together, haven't we? And we've been doing it mentally by partitioning or by counting on in hundreds, tens and ones. But today we are going to have a look at the formal method, the written method, column addition. Now to start with, let's use the expanded column addition. I never knew this existed when I was at school. So you've got your 420 and 6. And we're going to add on the 100, the 50 and the 5. And you can see the two ways of writing that. Your horizontal addition, but we're going to use our vertical addition today. Let's work our way through. So 6 and 5 is 11, isn't it? Now with this method, you'd put your 1 there, but it was 11, wasn't it? So you're adding another 10 in this column. Now add up the 10s. I'd start with a 50, 60, 70, 80. And 400 and 100 is 500. So your answer would be 581 if you recombine. Now get your square paper and we're going to try and write this sum out using the expanded column addition method. So like before, here we go, you need to write it 2. You've got 200, you're going to be adding the 30 and the 4. From 347, you're going to be adding the 300, the 40 and the 7. Make sure you get them perfectly underneath each other in those squares on your piece of paper. So you should have hundreds, a tens column and a nice neat units or ones column. Okay, don't forget to leave this line empty, because when we're using this method, if we need to carry into the tens column or into the hundreds column, you're going to be writing it here. Do me your equal signs here and your addition lines up with your bottom line. And here we go. So I do 7 and 4, that's 11. So I would put my 10 here in the tens column, 1 there. 30 and 40 is 70 and 10 is 80. 200 and 300, 500. So if we then add all that together, you get 581. Ta-da! A good way of checking to see if you're more or less right, your number's not far too big or far too small, is to use the rounding method that we were doing just before. So let's round 234 to the nearest 10. That would be 230, wouldn't it? And 347 we could round to 350. And altogether that's 580. That's if you've rounded up the numbers you started with. And look, it's only one off the proper answer. So rounding is a really good way of checking that you're not way off. So that's the expanded method. Now let me show you what we call the compact method for the same sum. Here we go then. I've made a hundreds column, a tens column and a ones column, or units. So it was 200, that goes in the 100 column. 30, the 3 tens, goes in the tens column, and the 4 goes there. Underneath we need our 3 for 300, the 4 for 40 and the 7 for 347. The addition sign goes here and we've left a line, then we've got our equal sign. Do you remember 4 and 7 was 11, which is 1 unit in the units column and a 10. So 3 and 4 is 7, plus the 1 is 8. 2 and 3 is 5. And it makes 581, like before. Some of you might prefer the expanded method, but I think most of you are trying to use this method now. But you can choose. You'll get the same answer. Now get your squared paper and write this down as a vertical or column addition, either expanded or the compact method, and work out the answer. Pause the video. Now write this one down as your column addition. Work out the answer and pause the video. Try this one now. You might see something special happening. You might notice something. Finally, write this one down. But remember, you're doing it as column addition. Work out the answer. So, what did you notice about all the answers? Hopefully you got 581 for all of the answers. So now you're going to do a little investigation. I want you to find as many pairs of 3-digit numbers like this that also make 581. I wonder if you could find at least 10 ways. You can check your answers by using your column addition. Make sure it adds up to 581. Try not to make it too easy for yourself. Try not to use any numbers that end in a 0. You might want to use your number bomb facts to 11 to help you. For instance, you know that 9 and 2 makes 11. We need our answer to end in a 1. So you could have one 3-digit number ending in a 9 and another 3-digit number that ends in a 2, because you know it's going to give you the 1 at the end. What other two numbers make 11? 7 and 4. So you could have a 3-digit number ending in a 7 and a 3-digit number ending in a 4. That is going to give you 1 unit at the end. But of course you've got to check that your 10s are going to give you 8 and your 100s are going to give you 500s. If you want some more reinforcement, have a look at the BBC Bite Size Adding 3-Digit Numbers daily lesson. The link is in the Google Emergency folder. And you've got videos there to help you. Which are quite fun. It brings in the estimating as well. And you can check afterwards to check that you're in the right sort of area with your answer. Have a look at that, and there's some practice activities as well. And some worksheets if you like. Now for extension and a bit of fun, you need to have a go at this, but you need to go outside. Watch this first, but then go and play. All the instructions are there. You just need a pack of playing cards to help you, but you'll be running, so it's going to be physical, but you're also going to need your brain to add those 2 3-digit numbers together, so it's mental as well. Have fun, boys. Right then, 3GD, that's it for another week. Have a good weekend and rest up so you're raring to go for next week. Bye.